Since we last left our hero Notlad, he had once befriended a wolf in the middle of the wilderness, lost and alone and afraid. He didn't know how the poor creature would react. It really seemed to like the meat, but unfortunately he had not enough to spare, so he bid him farewell. Notlad soon kept wandering along the wilderness, soon coming across the endless oceans. He searched for a home, but there could be no home to be found. The deepest depths were unforgiving, and this was no place for him to live. Notlad then decided to travel long and far until he came to an island off in the distance. Could this be? Could this be a place that he could actually call his home? Swam and swam until finally he reached the shoreline, where he was mocked by a young sea turtle upon arrival. So Notlad destroyed him with extreme prejudice. The turtle inevitably lost. But this was no home no more. The stains of blood and war stained this here ground, so Notlad decided to move on further. Many days had gone by, and Notlad soon learned that he may never find civilization. So he went on with axe in hand to collect wood and prepare for the inevitable winter, with hopes that possibly he would find a place he could soon call his own. Time continued to pass for poor Notlad. The days became longer, the nights much colder. He was soon losing hope that he would ever find a place worthy enough for a home that he could call his own. As he stumbled and trudged through the uneven terrain, he thought this was it. I will never find my home. I will never survive another night with creatures as cruel as this, and with the night so cold and the snow around the corner. There would be nothing he could do. But soon, like a miracle, he soon discovered a place that he would soon call his home. With a keen eye and careful consideration, Notlad decided this place would be perfect. So he began to dig and reform the environment to be suited for his new home. Through day and night, Notlad worked tirelessly to form his soon-to-be home so that it was perfect in every way. The foundation was now being set, and the creation of the home would then begin. After his foundation was set, he decided I might as well use the many logs that I have collected on my back to build my newfound home. So he began, using all 50,000 logs that he had collected for the winter time. He thought, well, I don't really know how to make a fire, so there was really no point to collecting these logs, so let's just use them to make our home. After Notlad created his framework, he began to make the pillars for the building itself by placing a stone block on every corner and then building upon that. With a hint of glee in his eye, he decided, this is good, I will continue with this. Soon all 4 pillars were completed. Now it is time to construct the first floor of his building. Piece by piece, the floor fell into place. It looked so stunning in his eye, he could barely wait to get on top of it and walk around on his brand new floor for the very first time. He thought to himself, this floor could probably carry 75 men, or maybe like 17 elephants, or a whole tank. He kept thinking about the possibilities and the different weights he could possibly put on the floor once it was finally completed. After much time, the floor was finally done. Notlad stepped back to admire his work, to behold its full beauty. He then thought to himself, well, I can't have just myself knowing about this beauty. Let us light it up so that everyone, all around the world can see it. So he put torches around the base to light up the bottom layer. It looked lovely, and he was very, very proud of his work. But now to take a look from the top. Let us see. Oh, it looks stunning. Good job, Notlad, you old boy, good job. The next day, Notlad decided it was finally time to make the next layer. So he decided to build the walls, and what beautiful walls they were. Months had soon passed, and we soon come back to see that Notlad has progressed a little further than expected. What is it you have here? Show us. It looks like he already has his walls, his roof. Everything looks to almost be in order. Notlad, with a smile on his face and a warmth in his heart, continued to work tirelessly on his project. Soon to be finished and soon to be done. Unfortunately, with every great stride comes a small setback. In this case, there was those who wished to possess what Notlad had, and he had to fight for what he had built. More months continued to go by as Notlad fought for his survival amongst the wilderness and its many creatures. His house stood tall and strong against all elements, and remained a remarkable treasure in his heart. More months continued to go by, and soon the harsh winter weather was soon upon him. He continued to work tirelessly on his projects indoors while the winter snow slowly trickled down to the ground. As he worked, he would sometimes enjoy his time reading a nice book, enjoying himself by the fire, or just tucked into bed, sleeping in for a wonderful evening. He played music on his guitar, although not very well. He never once learned, but he tried his best, and points for trying, as I say. A few months later, the snow finally began to melt. The smell of crisp spring air filled Notlad's nostrils as he breathed in a deep, heavy breath. It was so nice to finally be out of the cabin after so long being cooped up in that long, hard winter. But still, there was much to be done. So Notlad got to work right away, creating the rest of his base. His house looked wonderful as ever, but it needed a few finishing touches to make it complete. I mean, a home is not a home without some great decor. Many years have now passed, and it has been a long time since we heard from Notlad. We checked back in with him to see that not a whole lot has changed, still defending his home from creatures that roam amongst the fields. His home still looking as majestic and beautiful as ever. As the sun slowly fades away, he goes in to show us around one final time. Notlad, we love to see what you've built. You've done such a phenomenal job. Thank you for this grand tour, and thank you for letting us be a part of this grand adventure. But now I'm afraid it is time we must go. It is time for you to rest, and it is time for us to say good night. And to this final sunset, we bid you a farewell and a peaceful rest. Thank you, and a job well done.